I'm trying to platinum and 100% every game in the Far Cry series. In the last video, I 100%ed Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, meaning next up is... Releasing in November 2014 on all major platforms, Far Cry 4 was developed by Ubisoft Montreal and improves on the Far Cry formula that the third game created. There are 51 trophies to collect for the platinum, but I will also be going for the 7 trophies that are included in the Valley of the Yetis DLC as well. I also decided that just like Far Cry 3, I will be going for the in-game 100%, which involves completing all side quests, finding every single collectible in the game, and buying every single weapon available, meaning this is going to take even longer than what the guide says. For now though, we start the game off by being introduced to this Far Cry's location, the fictional country of Kyrat, which is based on the real life country of Nepal. We also take control of our main character, RJ Gale, as we have returned to our mother's home country to seek out Lakshmana, where we must spread her ashes. Of course though, this is a Far Cry game and nothing can ever be that simple. As we are crossing the border, we are introduced to the civil war that is occurring in Kyrat and the main villain of this game, Pagan Min.
I hate when things get out of control. Oh! One fucking job, you couldn't fucking do that!
Damn. Lucky for us though, it turns out that Pagan seems to know who we are and takes us back to his palace.
Don't worry about a thing, my boy. This will soon be behind us, and we'll be off on our grand adventure. Because I have cleared my calendar for you. You and I. Gonna tear shit up!
Damn, what an intro.
Should I stay or should I go?
Once we arrive, it turns out that a man that was on the bus with us works with the Golden Path, which is the rebellion fighting against Pagan. So Pagan takes him away for questioning and tells us to wait. And for the first time in the series, we have our first secret ending, as I decided to sit around and wait about 13 whole minutes for Pagan to return. So then when he does, he shows us where Lakshmana is, and we are able to leave our mother's ashes there, and the game ends.
We can finally shoot some goddamn guns.
Damn, so the game literally ends like that. Unfortunately though, I did all that waiting around just for no trophy. Seriously though, I'm surprised this isn't a trophy, like it is literally the perfect type of thing to have as a trophy. Anyway, I took the L and decided to boot up a new game and actually play the game this time. Oh god.
What the fuck?
So this time, instead of just ignoring the screams of pain, I decided to investigate. Down in the basement, we find one of Pagan's lieutenants, Paul Depleur, torturing the men on the bus for information as to why the Golden Path are interested in us. So after seeing the horrible situation we're in, we go to leave, where we are met by Sabal, who is one of the leaders of the Golden Path, and he is here to help us escape the compound. It is also revealed that our father used to be the leader of the Golden Path before he died. So during our escape, we have a car chase sequence where of course things end up going horribly wrong. Holy crap. You're telling me we survived that? Yes, somehow we survived, but of course the driver didn't, and now we must make our way through a valley to meet back up with Sabal, and this area pretty much acts as a tutorial to the game as we take down our first enemies. Once we meet back up with Sabal, he takes us back to Banapur, the home of the Golden Path, where we are introduced to the other leader of the Golden Path, Amita. And this is where the game opens up, as Sabal promises that he will help us find Lakshmana in exchange for us helping out the Golden Path overthrow Pagan Min's rule. So before long, we are tasked with liberating our first bell tower, which are the exact same as the radio towers in Far Cry 3. But on the way, we are introduced to a new mechanic in the game, the grapple hook, which lets us traverse the map a lot easier. So using the new feature, I could now climb up the bell tower and liberate it. However, this is only one of 17. And I would need to liberate at least 8 anyway to get a trophy. For now, I decided to continue on with the main story, and eventually I was tasked with liberating my first outpost, which are pretty much the exact same as the ones in Far Cry 3. And so once again, there was a trophy for beating an outpost without triggering any alarms. And this first outpost was the perfect place to do this, as I was able to shoot the lock off the elephant cage and let the elephant do all the work for me. Let's go. The elephant did everything for me. Tread lightly. Liberate any outpost without triggering an alarm in any mode. Campaign only. Finally, I got a trophy. And not long after that, I would get my second trophy of the game, as now we actually officially join the Golden Path after some persuasion from Amita. Act 1 complete. Welcome to Kirat. Join the Golden Path. Now that we've completed Act 1, we are able to meet Herc, who was introduced in Far Cry 3, and speaking to him unlocks the ability to access co-op in the campaign, meaning I could now go for these trophies. However, before doing that, I was introduced to the best vehicle in the game, the gyrocopter, which now allows you to fly around the map, making it so much quicker to get around. And this definitely comes in clutch later on when going for all of the collectibles. After completing Act 1, the map opens up even more, so now I had access to a lot more side quests, so I started to complete some of those. So during a hostage rescue mission, I was using my camera to tag enemies, which ended up being my 25th tag, unlocking me a trophy. Shutterbug. Tag 25 enemies using the camera. After completing some of these side missions, I had amassed a decent amount of money, so I decided to go for the custom fitted trophy for buying all attachments and paint jobs on one weapon. I sort of cheesed this though, as I chose the AK-47, which had no attachments, so all I had to do was buy all the paint jobs. Yes, custom fitted. Buy all attachments and paint schemes for a single weapon. Well, I didn't actually need to buy any attachments to the AK, I just had to buy all the paint jobs. Following that, I continued on with the main story and I was introduced to my first choice mission. We get to choose whether to take Sabal's side or Amita's side, and they become the temporary leader until the next choice mission. In reality though, these missions don't really change the story at all, besides slightly different cutscenes and mission objectives, but it was nice to be able to make my own decisions. And so for this first mission, I decided to side with Sabal as he wanted to protect the rebels, whereas Amita was just all about getting intel. As I headed towards this main mission, I completed some side activities on the way, which got me a few more skill points, unlocking me my next trophy. Quick learner. Learn 10 skills. I then went on to complete Sabal's main mission, and he was now the leader of the Golden Path. Following that, I completed a variety of side missions, but I'll explain these later when I get to their trophies, as for now I did some animal hunting to get their skins so I could craft some upgrades. Tricked out. Craft 5 upgrades for your equipment. Yeah, I'm going to try and get onto this because having upgraded equipment makes the game a lot easier. Not long after that, I got myself another trophy for spending my money. Make it rain. Spend 500,000 rupees total at trading posts. Following that, I decided to do a few more side activities until eventually I decided to have a rest and come back the next day. And when I did get back on, my good friend Aesops had kindly offered to help me out with the 4 multiplayer trophies, as he had already previously platinumed Far Cry 4 himself. He also makes great quality trophy videos, and you should all check out his most recent Doom 2016 video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to both our channels so you don't miss out on future platinum uploads. Anyway, first up we decided to go for the community surprise trophy for playing a top rated map in the map browser. Quick play top rated. Do I have to play this with you, or is this just like something I can do solo?
You can. There's quick play top rated co-op, or you can just do it by yourself. It's up to you.
Oh, I'll do it with you, may as well. Alright, so someone made this map and we're gonna play through it.
Yeah.
What the what the
Hola, hola Ajay.
Wait, are you Herc?
I must be.
You're
You're AJ.
You're Herc.
I'm Herc, friend.
You're Herc Turkey. So we just go kill enemies. Are you going in the flying machine?
Hopefully I have a wingsuit. Yeah.
I'm crashing into him. Oh!
I'm okay. Yeah, good work, Jamie. Oh, there's Pug and Min. Bro, I just killed Pagan Min, yo.
Did you say Pagan? Why'd you say Pagan?
I think it's the way one of the characters, the Rakiat. No, not the
Rakiat. Wrong game, brother.
Sorry, I haven't played it. Bro, the aim assist is crazy. I don't remember playing this, like.
Where's
Pagan Min?
Where's Pagan Min?
I just stabbed him. Look, bro, we won.
Oh, what's up, Pagan?
I just got flung into the air.
Who are these blue people? I obviously haven't gotten up to that in the story yet. I just got flung in the air as well. What the Sigma?
Quick scope.
Oh yeah, go for a 360 no scope for the final kill. Just kidding.
Oh! I just got flung up. Oh, when you jump, you must go like... It must just be when you jump.
Oh, it must have to be a modifier. Community surprise! Play a top-rated map in the map browser. Hell yeah, I'm liking that crap.
That was stupid and dumb.
Time to quit! Moving on, we decided to go for the Renaissance Man trophy next for finishing a public match in each game type in the multiplayer. And there was an entire intro cutscene put in for the multiplayer, but like realistically, who's buying Far Cry for the multiplayer? Once we loaded in, the first thing we decided to do was just try out quick play to see if anyone was playing this 10-year-old game. And surprisingly, I found one other guy searching for a match of Outpost. Unfortunately, however, you need 6 people to start a match. I'm gonna pause my recording so I don't have a friggin...
Yeah, probably.
Yes, we got a game!
Such a long countdown, bro. You don't need a minute countdown after we've been waiting for bloody 15 minutes. Gives people more time to back out, you know what I'm saying? Just load us in.
And so after like a total of 20 minutes of waiting, we finally got into a game of Outpost, which is essentially capture the flag. In all multiplayer modes, there are 2 different teams. One is the Rakshasa and the other is the Golden Path. And each round you swap to the different faction as they have different abilities. For example, when playing as the Rakshasa, you are normally the ones attacking. However, we only have a bow and arrow, but we can call in animals to aid us, and if we crouch, we can go invisible. Whereas when playing as the Golden Path, you are usually the ones defending, and you have access to vehicles and weapons, which are obviously a lot stronger than a bow and arrow, which is why the Rakshasa get those other extra abilities. In the end, it turned out that the players we were fighting against weren't very good at the game, as we won 100-0. So that meant the Outpost game type had officially been completed, so now I just had to do Demon Mask and Propaganda. And luckily we only had to wait about 5 minutes this time for the Demon Mask game type, which is really surprising because I did not think people were going to be playing the Far Cry 4 multiplayer. Now, Demon Mask is probably actually more like Capture the Flag than the other game mode, as this one you have to hunt masks and drop them off at a drop zone. And I can't lie, this game mode was really boring, and for some reason the rounds went for 10 minutes, so it took 20 whole minutes just to complete one of these matches. So finally we moved on to the last game type, Propaganda, but unfortunately we could not find a match, so instead we decided to go for the co-op trophies. So first up we went for Brother in Arms, which is for liberating an outpost whilst playing as Herc. In order to play as Herc, you have to join someone else's campaign, so I was able to join my friend's game and we replayed one of the outposts he had completed.
Get it, bro. I got my buzzsaw. I'm gonna deactivate this.
One of them's looking at me. Yeah, once you deactivate the alarm, it's like easy cheese. Uh-oh, I think they see you.
Shit. Oh, I'm not letting him get to it. No.
I thought you said you
gotta hold out,
deactivated
bro.
it.
I deactivated 2, but there were 3.
I thought if you deactivated 1, it deactivated all of them.
Nah. Might be different in 3, but in this one it's like you have to take them all out.
Oh, they
What
come
the
from
hell?
the air.
It's all good. It's all good.
We did it.
Yeah.
Brother in Arms. Liberate one outpost playing as Herc. Cheers for that, bro. For the next co-op trophy, Changing Lanes, we decided that we would instead start up my campaign, as it would be more likely that we would find enemies driving around on the map, as my friend had already liberated most areas. So you can play through the whole story co-op. That's pretty cool.
If you wanted to.
That is pretty cool. Yo, what up, Herky Dirk? Sup, hey,
AJ Gully.
what you doing, Herc?
Hop on in, buddy.
Oh wait, I haven't unlocked the skill.
Oh yeah, that's right. You need a skill. Out of the way.
Um,
Do you have skill points?
no. Wait, where is it? Oh my god, I need 3 skill points to get it. Yeah, I've got 0. We might have to grind a bit. So yeah, it turns out that silly me had forgotten that I hadn't even unlocked the skill yet. So we had to grind out a few side quests so I could get the 3 skill points. And honestly, this didn't really take that long, as XP is quite easy to get, especially in the early game. Vehicle takedown. Purchased. Okay, now let's actually go for this trophy.
The following is an announcement from the Ministry of Public Affairs.
Hey, bro, going first person.
This is like GTA. Going first person, bro.
There are vehicles up here. Or is this a convoy?
Convoy would be good. Convoy would
Okay,
be
here we go,
perfect.
Jamie. Here we go.
Yes! Changing lanes. Perform a vehicle takedown from the passenger seat of a vehicle.
My work here is done.
Hey, thank you.
No worries. We bring the boom!
Holy shit! Finally, after that, we went back to the multiplayer to finish off the propaganda game mode. I'm searching for a propaganda game. Oh, join now.
We go now. You're set, bro. After this, that should be all the multiplayer and.
Now, propaganda is probably most like search and destroy from COD, as there are 3 different points, and as the defending team, we have to stop the other team from planting bombs and destroying all 3. In the end, I just wanted to get it done, and my team ended up losing, but it didn't matter because all I had to do was just participate. They're all decent. The first one was kind of boring. Ooh, Renaissance, man. Finish a public match of each game type in the Battles of Karat game mode. Let's go.
Congratulations. Now you never have to play it again.
I'm quitting. I'm out of there.
My work is done.
Yes, thank you very much for the help.
No worries.
Uninstall. With that done, I had now officially completed the multiplayer and I could head back to completing the rest of the campaign. And after doing some more, you guessed it, side content, I was able to get myself the trophy Dr. Feelgood. And I feel like this trophy is pretty much unmissable, as in this game, when you pick up 2 green leaves, it automatically crafts a healing syringe, so you'll definitely heal at least 15 times. Dr. Feelgood craft 15 syringes. Following that trophy, I went on a bit of a streak getting side quest and collectible trophies, the first of which was Gearhead. And this is for completing 3 karate films quests. Essentially, these are just races, the first of which is survival, which you have to go through checkpoints as normal, but there are enemies you might encounter along the way, and you also have to switch vehicles midway through the race. And the other type is called racing, and this is more your typical checkpoint time trial race, as you have to make it through all checkpoints as quick as you can whilst dodging a few obstacles. For the in-game 100%, I have to complete all of these anyway, but for now I do get myself a trophy. Gearhead. Complete 3 karate films racing or karate film survival activities. Following that, I got the trophy Defender, and this is for repelling 3 outpost attacks, which can occur once you've liberated an outpost. When nearby one, there is a chance for a random event to occur where enemies will attack the outpost and you are given the chance to go and defend it. Because this is a random event and there are a set number of outposts, this doesn't actually count towards the 100% in game, so I only had to do it 3 times for the trophy. Ooh. Defender. Repel 3 outpost retaliation parties. After that was the Robin Hood trophy, and this was for completing 3 Royal Cargo Truck events. And once again, this is a type of random event you can encounter whilst roaming the open world, and it involves either destroying a cargo truck or hijacking it and delivering it to the Golden Path. Trophy time? Yes, Robin Hood. Hijack 3 Royal Cargo Trucks and return them to a liberated outpost. Next up was technically my first collectible trophy for reading 10 notes. Now these don't actually count towards the in-game 100%, thank goodness, and they are just random notes you can find around the world. Ooh, well read. Read 10 notes. Following that, I was back now to completing more quests, and this time it was for completing 3 assassination or eye for an eye quests. Assassination missions consist of killing a commander and taking their dog tags without being detected by the other enemies nearby, whereas the eye for an eye missions, you can be spotted, but you have to take out the commanders using a specific weapon. Triggerman! Complete 3 assassination or eye for an eye quests. Following that, I continued the main story for a bit, where I got given a quest by this guy here called Longinus, who is pretty much a direct reference to Far Cry 2, and there is a theory that he is one of the characters from Far Cry 2, but he changed his name. And so he gives us a mission to hunt down blood diamonds in the Himalayas, and there are actually quite a few missions throughout the game which take place in the Himalayas, which changes up the scenery quite nicely and is a fun change of pace. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, but back to the trophies now. And so the next one I got was No One Left Behind, for pretty much completing hostage rescue missions. These are essentially the same as the hostage missions in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, where if you get alerted, the enemies will start killing the hostages, so you have to take him out silently. No One Left Behind. Rescue 15 hostages and hostage rescue quests.
Good on you, JT, please.
Thank you.
Is that gonna make in the video?
Possibly.
Oh my god.
Next trophy up was Right Tributes, which was for actually getting my first 10 proper collectibles, the Marnie Wheels. Once again though, I do have to collect all 40 of these for the in-game 100%, but for now, here's a trophy. Following that, the next trophy I got was called the Good Fight, and it involved getting to Karma level 2, which I was already actually up to level 4, and this can be done by completing certain missions, finding certain collectibles, and completing random Karma events that can happen in the open world. And at each Karma level, you get a new reward, and so at this point, I had unlocked the first Guns for Hire Rebel upgrade. And I just realized as well, at this point, I already bought the wingsuit, which is very useful for getting around in this game as well. Anyway, I purchased the upgrade and got a trophy. The Good Fight. Reach Karma level 2 and purchase any Guns for Hire upgrade. Next up was another collectible trophy, this time for removing 30 propaganda posters. And once again, I'm going to have to collect all 150 of these for the in-game 100%. Rewriting history. Remove 30 propaganda posters. 30 out of 150. Holy crap. Yeah, go away, stupid rhinos. God damn. The next trophy I went for was Hand of Justice for eliminating 3 of Pagan Min's convoys. And these are very similar to the cargo trucks as they are random events that can happen on the map. But this time, I just gotta take out all of the enemies. But surprisingly, whilst doing this, I got myself another trophy. Drive-by. Killed 25 enemies while shooting and driving. Oh crap. Well, I'm about to get another one. Holy crap. Hand of Justice. Eliminate 3 Pagan's Wrath convoys. I don't know if I succeeded because I got blown up. What's meant to happen there? I got the trophy, but does that actually count? The game's trying to figure it out. It's having a buffer. It's freaking out. Come on, game, load. Let's have a look. Progress. Yeah, see, it says 2 out of 3 for Pagan's Wrath, but I got the trophy. That's incorrect. Later on though, I did go back and do another Pagan's Wrath convoy just to make sure that it was at 100%. Continuing on with the main story, I got up to another Balance of Power mission, where once again I had to choose between Sabal and Amita. For this one, Sabal wants us to burn down one of Pagan's drug fields and wipe the poison out of Kirat, whereas Amita wants to capture the drug fields, which will allow the Golden Path to start producing drugs and making money. Once again, I sided with Sabal as I thought it would be important to wipe out the drugs from Kirat because I took an oath to Lady Liberty.
You swore an oath to a special lady, Lady Liberty. She taught me that winners don't use
And of course, this also allowed me to do the flamethrower mission that occurs in every Far Cry, except this time there was unfortunately no Skrillex in the background. This mission was also a good place to start grinding out mortar kills as well. Following that mission, I went back to doing some more side content, and this time it was to get the trophy, the Rarest Game. And this was for completing 3 Kirat Fashion Week quests, and these are the exact same as the Rare Animal Hunt quests in Far Cry 3. Holy Jesus. Bro, like, what? God damn. The Rarest Game. Complete 3 Kirat Fashion Week quests. That was a vicious rhino. Not too long after that, I got myself another trophy called Roadkill, and well, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Boom! Roadkill, run over 25 people. From there, I went back to the main story and I came across the Garley homestead, which is where our mother and father used to live. But now 2 random British dudes who are really into drugs have moved in. These two are Yogi and Reggie, and they're both stuck in Karat because of the Civil War, but anyway, they end up drugging us and putting us to sleep. When we wake up, it is revealed that we have been taken to the arena in Karat, and we are introduced to Nor, who is also working for Pagan. And of course, we are thrown into the arena with only a knife to battle waves of enemies. I am able to scavenge weapons off the enemies and use that to my advantage, but I can't use my normal loadout. Eventually, I did make it to the 5th and final round and was able to take out all the enemies and animals. After our victory, we meet back up with Nor, who reveals the only reason she is working with Pagan is because Paul Depleur has her family and they are forcing her to run the arena. So pretty much our next goal is to find Paul, as both the Golden Path and Nor want him dealt with. But before doing that, I quickly decided to knock out the People's Champ trophy. After completing that main mission, I had now unlocked the Shanath Arena. And so the arena has 3 different game types: battles, endless, and weapon challenges. Out of the 3, I decided to do the weapon challenges. The only reason I did this is because I thought it was cool that you could try and earn 5 stars for each weapon. And afterwards, when I checked, I believe on the guide it also said that the weapon challenges were the best for XP, so it's lucky I chose it. You get more XP for surviving through more rounds and getting kills, so it didn't really matter how well I did on each challenge as long as I was getting as many kills as I could and surviving for as long as possible, and it really only took about half an hour to 45 minutes in order to reach rank 5. However, later on in this playthrough, I will have to reach rank 10 in order to unlock the final weapon for the 100%, and let's just say reaching rank 10 takes a lot longer than reaching rank 5. Also, I thought I'd mention there was a flamethrower weapon challenge, which was perfect for grinding out kills using fire, but for now, let's just get the People's Champ trophy. Damn bro, I got stuck doing a chain takedown. Oh well, the People's Champ, reach arena rank 5. Moving back to the main story, instead of going after Paul Depleur straight away, instead we head back to confront Yogi and Reggie after they betrayed us. This is where they reveal they are pretty much in the same situation as Nor, as Pagan and Paul have taken their passports, meaning they can't leave the country, so they're stuck doing their bidding. In the end, they apologize and give us some money for what they've done, and they also tell us about what used to be on the wall in our homestead, as RJ is interested in it. Turns out it was some sort of artwork called a thunker, but it was split into 5 different pieces, so we are tasked with finding the first one, and the other 4 are left as side content. The thunkers can be found in different caves around the map, and the gimmick is once you find one of them, you are sent into the mystical world of Shangri-La. In these missions, you play as a Kirat warrior called Kalanag, who is here to save Shangri-La from an evil entity. In these missions, we are also given a white tiger as a companion who helps us in combat. All 5 of these missions pretty much go the same. You have to find 2 gigantic Marnie wheels to open up the way to the Bell of Enlightenment. Then you just have to make your way to free the Bell of Enlightenment, and once you do, it cleanses this area of evil. Afterwards, you then wake back up as RJ, and a piece of the thunker has been added to the mantelpiece. And with that, that is our introduction to Shangri-La, and we kick Yogi and Reggie out of our house to go live in a tent. Overdose. Discover Shangri-La. Now finally, after all that, we are able to go after Paul. So using the cover of night, we sneak into his going away party in order to enter his office and capture him. Once inside his office, we find a slave that he was torturing, so we free him and take his place instead. Of course, this catches Paul off guard as he was not expecting us to be here, and we use this to knock him out. I then had to carry his body back through the town, taking on enemies until eventually I was able to put him in the back of a car. On the way to meet with Sabal and Amita, Paul wakes up in the trunk and reveals that he actually killed Nor's family years ago. Despite this, I still delivered him to Sabal and Amita alive, and they take him away for questioning, I guess. Once the game is over, if you return back to Banapur village, you can actually find him stuck in a cage on the edge of a cliff, going delirious.
Ashley, baby, daddy's here.
Gotta stay calm. Gotta stay calm.
Oh shit. Whoops, I didn't mean to get him killed. Lol. Anyway, back to present day, I did get myself a trophy. 1 down. Decide Depleur's fate. Now that Deploy had been dealt with, his fortress had now been weakened. Now fortresses are essentially meant to be harder outposts. They act the exact same way, you've just got to take out all the enemies to liberate it, and if they are alerted, they will call in reinforcements. However, if you take out the leader that runs that fortress in the main story, the fortress becomes weakened, and it pretty much becomes as easy as a normal outpost. I was also able to grind out more mortar kills at this fortress, which made clearing it super easy. Now there are 4 fortresses in the game that I would have to complete for the in-game 100%, but there is a trophy for only completing 2. I decided that I was going to wait until each one was weakened just to make it a bit easier, but before continuing with the main story, I did get myself another trophy. And this one was for completing 6 hunting quests. There are 3 different types of hunting quests. One of them is supplies, which is pretty much the exact same as the hunting quests in Far Cry 3, as you just have to hunt down animals with a certain weapon. The second one is control missions, where you just have to take down a bunch of predator animals. Doesn't matter what weapon you use, you just have to clear the area of them. And the third type is the survival quest, where you have to protect NPCs from attacking animals. Of course, I was going to complete all of these for the 100% anyway, but for now, I got a trophy. Ooh, well-rounded. Complete any 6 hunting quests, supplies, control, and survival. Moving back to the main story, I once again had another balance of power mission where I had to choose between Amita and Sabal, and it was pretty much the exact same as the previous one, as I decided to side with Sabal as he wanted to destroy the drug factory. After completing that mission, the next mission, Sabal and Amita actually agree on something and they want us to kill Nor. But once inside the arena, we actually get the choice between killing or confronting Nor, and because I feel like she had been used by Pagan, I decided to just confront her. But when we do confront her, we unfortunately have to tell her the bad news about her family, and well, this literally sends her over the edge. So no matter the choice, she dies anyway. Your boss is dead. 2 down. Decide Nor's fate. Well, she kind of decided her own fate in the end. To get to the next main mission, I was able to explore new areas, and I ended up getting my 8th bell tower and a trophy. End transmission. Liberate 8 bell towers. Let's go. New milestone reached. I'm now level 290, let's go. Not long after that, one of the outposts I had liberated was attacked by a retaliation party, and it just so happened that this outpost had a mortar, so I decided to try and finish off the mortar kills. Ooh, Rain of Death. Kill 30 enemies with the mortar rounds. Let's go. Don't have to worry about that one anymore now. Now moving on to the next part of the story, we are actually contacted by our good friend from Far Cry 3, Willis Huntley, who is an FBI agent. And he has a proposal to offer to us, but first we have to protect him from some of Pagan Min's soldiers. And so in this mission, I have to use my sniper to protect Willis. And by complete fluke, I ended up getting a trophy that I thought was going to be really difficult.
Are you familiar with Reaganomics? It was a sound policy that ensured the fiscal future of the United States.
2 birds! Using a sniper rifle killed 2 dogs with a single shot. I didn't even mean to do that. Holy, that was clutch. So after that pro trick shot and all the enemies have been taken care of, we are then able to talk with Willis. And during the conversation, he actually does make a reference to Far Cry 3 and Jason Brody. Anyway, he offers us a file which has everything we need to know about who killed our father, but of course, an enemy is taking it away in a plane, so he gives us a wingsuit, which I already bought, and we have to chase after the plane.
Alright, let's do this.
Wingsuit? I already unlocked this, bro. What? Wait, I died? Wait, what? That was obviously not meant to happen. There we go. Didn't die this time. What a throw. Boom. Once we have the file, it turns out that half of it is redacted, and Willis says that if we help him, he will help us figure out what the file has to say. For now though, I decided to knock out some other easy trophies. For example, now that Nor had been dealt with, her fortress had been weakened, meaning it was a lot easier to take on. And because it was my second fortress, I got a trophy. Let's go, we did it. Display of fortitude. Conquer 2 fortresses. The next trophy I got was Diffuser, and this was for completing 3 bomb defusal quests. And just from the name, these quests are quite self-explanatory, as it's literally just defusing 3 bombs without the enemy spotting you, but if they do spot you, you have a certain time limit to defuse all the bombs anyway. Get out of here, get out of here. Back it up, back it up. Diffuser. Complete 3 bomb defusal quests. Moving on to the next trophy, this was a collectible one and it was for destroying 15 masks of Yalung. Just like the other collectibles, I would have to destroy all 55 of these masks, but for now I got a trophy. Exorcist. Remove or destroy 15 masks of Yalung. Moving on to the next trophy, once again it was quite easy as all I had to do was purchase 3 items for the Gale homestead. At the front of RJ's home you can find a merchant who will offer to upgrade your house not only for decoration but also for practical reasons such as being able to spawn in a gyrocopter out the front of your house. Yeah, I'll do this, Fixer Upper. Purchase 3 items for the Gale homestead. Let's see, what does it look like now? Oh yeah, it looks a bit more cleaned up, I guess. Alright, now going back to the main story, all these next few missions pretty much go the exact same way. Willis takes us up into the Himalayas and we are tasked with taking out one of Yuma's commanders. I don't think I've mentioned Yuma yet, but essentially she is second in command to Pagan. And in order to get to her, we are taking down her lieutenants first. And luckily, whilst I was doing this first mission, I managed to get myself another miscellaneous trophy. Ooh, misdirection. Distract 15 enemies with rocks. Let's go. Then on the following mission, after killing the lieutenant, I got another miscellaneous trophy. Whoa. Shit. Holy crap, this is so cool. Like a bird. Fly 5,000 meters total in the wingsuit. Let's go. Oh god. No! Oh, what a fail. As soon as I get the trophy, that happens. That's crazy. Anyway, once we've flown down the mountain and meet back up with Willis, he reveals that this whole time we've actually been killing CIA assets, not Yuma's lieutenants, because the US no longer see Pagan as a threat, so they are removing their footprint in Karat, and as a result, he ends up betraying us and leaving us to Yuma. And with that, Act 2 of the game is complete. Once we wake up, we are greeted by Pagan and Yuma as we have been brought to Durgesh prison, which is an isolated cave prison up in the Himalayas. And essentially, we have been brought here to be tortured by Yuma, as Pagan wants to teach us a lesson after all the trouble we have caused him. And of course, the torture turns out to be a drug-fueled nightmare. As when we wake up, we are faced by the psychological horror of Yuma climbing on the walls. And so of course, this starts up the mission Don't Look Down, where we have to escape the prison. In order to escape, we have to find parts to craft a grapple hook, but of course, because we've been drugged, we see visions of enemies that appear in the Shangri-La mission. So this section is kind of like a horror area as they hunt us down and we have no weapons to defend ourselves. But in reality it was pretty easy because all I had to do was sneak past the enemies and then run away once I had the grappling hook parts. From there we used the grappling hook to escape down the side of the mountain, and after one final attack from the enemy we make it to the bottom. And here we are back to normal reality as we have to sneak our way past normal enemies and escape the prison camp. Now I think you're meant to do this part stealthily, but I accidentally got caught, so I pretty much just made a run for it down the bottom of the hill to escape all the enemies. And so after running past all the enemies and breaking the final lock, I made my escape. After walking for a while, a blizzard sets in, causing us to collapse in the snow, but not before seeing a Yeti in the distance, which of course sets up the Valley of the Yetis DLC, but we'll get back to that later. Once we wake up, it turns out that Sabal and the Golden Path have saved us after a week of tracking us down, which doesn't really make sense because how did we survive a whole week frozen in the snow? But the DLC does kind of explain this later on, so we'll talk about that later. For now though, we are able to continue on the main story in Karat, where we are tasked with liberating King's Bridge, which will finally give us access to the northern part of the region, which is where Yuma and Pagan are located. And of course, this opens up a whole new region of side quests and collectibles. And this meant I was finally able to liberate my 12th outpost. Boom. Deliver us from evil. Liberate 12 outposts. Let's go. And I did that one undetected too. Just like Far Cry 3 though, for some reason, clearing all outposts is the only side content that you actually have to 100% for a trophy. For now though, I actually finally decided to do some hunting, meaning I can now upgrade more of my equipment, which is very useful in this game, and I can now actually finally hold 4 weapons. And so with my 4th weapon slot, I decided to hold an RPG and finally go for the quad kill trophy. And shout out to PowerPix for the guide on how to get this one, it made it really easy. All I had to do was head to this specific outpost, and even though I had already liberated, I was able to use the outpost master to replay it. Then I just had to get spotted by an enemy so they would call in reinforcements. Then all I had to do was hide behind this tree on the other side of the road and wait for the second car to arrive. Boom! Quad kill. Kill 4 enemies simultaneously with a single explosion. It actually worked. So that car must always spawn with 4 people no matter what. Thank you, PowerPix, for the great guide. After that, I did the next main mission where we meet up with some rebels in one of the towns in the northern area, but unfortunately Pagan shows up and kills them, but we have the opportunity to chase him down and kill him, which we actually do.
Don't jackass, and a gyrocopter is chasing me! Get rid of him!
We did? Wait, what? Ah, that's... Surely that's... Holy crap. Wait, what? That was not meant to happen.
Hello, RJ. Did you miss me?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that was him. Yes, so of course we didn't actually kill Pagan. It can't be that easy. It turns out he had hired a perfectly good body double that looked exactly like him. This game is truly so dumb, but I love it. So anyway, after taking that L, to cheer myself up, I decided to go for the From a Distance trophy. For this trophy, I made sure to equip the recurve bow with a marksman sight, as this kind of gives you an indication of how far away from an enemy you are. I then headed to a nearby outpost, and using a ping, I tried to figure out how far away I was from a certain enemy, and once I had one, I tried to get the 60 meters away or more kill. How am I missing every single shot? Oh, come on. Am I going over or above? There we go. From a distance. Kill a target from 60 meters or more with an arrow or bolt. And so finally, after getting that trophy, I moved on to the next main story mission where Pagan announces on live television where Yuma can be located pretty much, as it turns out that Yuma has been going against a lot of his orders, so he pretty much has called us out to kill her. So we head to the mine where she is located, but of course it turns out that she is waiting for us and she once again drugs us, and we start seeing visions of Sabal doing horrible things to the people of Karat, but apparently if you have Amita as your leader, it will actually show her doing horrible things. But let's just say this influenced my decision on who will be the leader by the end of the game. Eventually we make it to an arena where we fight Yuma, who is changed into Kalignag, the warrior that appears in the Shangri-La missions, as she has become obsessed with finding out the secrets of Shangri-La. And in this section we are only given a bow to try and take her out. In the end, it wasn't really that hard of a boss fight and I was able to defeat her. Were we killing Yuma? We were too. Hat trick. Decide Yuma's fate. Following that mission, we are now getting towards the end of the game, as now I had my final balance of power mission, and whoever I chose to side with, they would be the leader of the Golden Path. And so the whole game up until this point, I had sided with Sabal every single time, but after playing that previous mission and seeing those visions, this time I decided to choose Amita. And also I thought it was weird that Sabal was marrying like a 15-year-old girl, but it was mainly those visions that put me off. But looking back on it now that I know that Amita also does terrible things, no matter which side you choose, it's a bad decision realistically. And so in this mission I was tasked with destroying Jalandu Temple, which is the sacred temple of the Karat people where Sabal was going to marry Budra, the 15-year-old girl. So we destroyed it instead. And so Amita was officially the leader of the Golden Path. Before moving on with the story though, I made sure to clear out Yuma's fortress, and I completed the last missions of a few different side quests, and I even fully upgraded the Gale homestead just because I could. And at this point, because we were so close to the end of the game and I had done quite a lot of the side content, I actually had enough skill points to max out the skill tree. 8, 9, and trophy time. Fully loaded. Learn all skills. Let's go. 69% done. Following that, I decided to try and max out all of my crafting upgrades. Even though this wasn't a trophy, I had to do it for the in-game 100%. And the whole time I was hunting throughout the game, I didn't realize until the very end that if you use a bow and arrow, you actually get 2 animal skins instead of 1. Because in Far Cry 3, it was a skill you had to unlock. Well, in this game, you just have to use a bow and arrow instead of guns, which I didn't realize until the very end, which was very annoying because I'd pretty much already fully crafted everything. But for the last few upgrades, it did help. Following that, I did my 3rd Shangri-La mission, and in this mission, you actually have the opportunity to ride an elephant, and this was perfect for grinding out the Tusker trophy. Now, you obviously can ride elephants in Karat as well, not just Shangri-La, and I actually did manage to get quite a few of these kills earlier on in a story mission, but I was able to finish them off here in Shangri-La. Yes, Tusker. Kill 30 enemies with an elephant. Let's go. Following that, I returned back to the main story, and now we had the point of no return as we had to finish off the main story. And so to kick things off, Amita asks us to go and kill Sabal as he is interfering with the Golden Path succeeding now that she is the leader. And once I did track him down, I had the option to shoot him or not, and I decided not to because I felt bad shooting him after I had taken his side pretty much the whole game except the final decision, and I felt it a bit unfair just to kill him now that he wasn't leader. But really, it doesn't matter what decision you make, because even if you keep him alive, he kind of just leaves and doesn't return for the rest of the story. In fact, once the game's over, you can just find him camping near a lake in the northern region, not really doing anything, just surviving on his own. Anyway, once we've dealt with Sabal, Amita then starts the final assault on Pagan's fortress. It's a pretty fun last mission as we get to take down a bunch of soldiers, and also we get to blow up Pagan Min's gigantic gold statue. After that, we then have to drive all the way to the top of this hill to confront Pagan at the royal palace. Once we enter the palace, this is it. We just get to confront Pagan and choose whether to shoot him or not. Once again, just like all the other choices in this game, I decided not to shoot him as I wanted to find out more about the story and where we are going to spread our mother's ashes. To keep a long story short, it turns out that Pagan helped our father Mohan take out the corrupt leaders of Karat, but then he betrayed Mohan by taking the throne for himself. This created a civil war, and at some point Mohan sent his wife / our mother, Ishwari, to spy on Pagan in his palace. Somehow they fall in love, and she has an affair with Pagan, resulting in a daughter called Lakshmana, who is our half-sister. Once Mohan learned about this, he actually killed the little baby Lakshmana, and so out of anger and revenge, Ishwari then killed Mohan. She then fled the country with RJ to America, and now this brings us full circle to now, as she wanted us to take her back to Lakshmana's shrine. And so that explains why Pagan has always kind of had a soft spot for us, because we are technically his stepson. And so because I didn't choose to kill him, he takes us to Lakshmana's shrine, and we are finally able to place our mother's ashes with hers. Which technically I actually did like 45 minutes ago in this video during the secret ending, but I didn't understand the context of the story, but I do now. Once we leave the shrine, we see that Pagan is escaping on a helicopter, and he announces to us that he is leaving Karat for us, but he is taking the helicopter. As he's flying off, you do get the opportunity to shoot down his helicopter, but I decided not to. Finn. That's the end? That's how it ends? Wow. That's the ending? Oh, wow, okay. So that whole game just pretty much get the same ending as the secret one. Interesting. Should I stay or should I go? Time to skip. The king is dead. Decide Pagan Min's fate. Well, I didn't actually kill him, so... So, the game is officially over now, the main story anyway, but of course, we've still got a bit of cleanup to do. So, to start things off, I took out the 4th and final fortress. I then realized that soon I would have to be doing the DLC trophies, and I didn't know how to access it, so I did a bit of research, and turns out, first thing I had to do was actually buy it. Duh! Looking back on it, I was kinda dumb, because instead of just buying the Valley of the Yetis DLC, which is the only one that has trophies, I actually bought the season pass instead, meaning I had to pay full price for a 10-year-old game's season pass. In reality, I didn't really need to do this, as all I needed was the Valley of the Yetis DLC, but I did get access to some other cool side missions. There were 3 DLC missions that I could now find on the map, and these all consisted of going to the Himalayas to do some sort of objective. And just like Far Cry 3, I also got access to 3 different Herc missions. And the final one of these missions gave the perfect opportunity to get the trophy, The Sky is Falling. As in this final mission, you pretty much have to do a vehicle takedown from a buzzer, and for some reason on the guide, they have it listed as unmissable as you do this Herc mission towards the end of the main story. But these Herc missions are literally DLC that you have to pay for, so I have no idea why the guide has it listed as unmissable, and that's part of the reason why I actually bought the season pass, because I thought I needed to play these Herc missions. But realistically, I could have just done this buzzer takedown in the open world. The sky is falling. Perform a takedown from a buzzer. Anyway, I'm just glad I got my trophy, and for now, all the campaign DLC was done, so I could just go back to finishing off the game and getting 100%. This included finishing off the final Karat Fashion Week quest, which allowed me to craft my final upgrade. I then completed the final Shangri-La mission after a really cool boss fight. I then liberated the 17th and final bell tower, and so after that, it was only fair that I would go and liberate my final outpost as well. Holy crap, I was wondering where you were, bro. All clear. Liberate all outposts. Yes sir, undetected on the final one. And after doing this, it then unlocked me the final couple of side quests I had to finish to 100% them all. And with that, that was all the easy parts done. Now it was on to the tedious aspect of collecting every single collectible. Fortunately, just like Far Cry 3, they do give you the opportunity to purchase maps from the store, which will then show where all the collectibles are on the map. And so this definitely does come in clutch, but it still doesn't stop the fact that you have to drive or fly around to every single location and get every collectible, making it really tedious. I mean, I guess unlike Far Cry 3, they actually have a flying machine in this game, so it is a lot easier to get around the map. But this is essentially what I had to do for the next like 4 hours finding collectibles. I was literally just flying around. Luckily though, I did get at least 1 dopamine hit as I got the final collectible trophy. Caretaker of Memory. Find 10 lost letters. In between getting collectibles, this is when I decided to check out the fate of some of the characters, including Sabal and Paul as I showed earlier, but I also found out Amita's fate as well. It turns out she's going around to each town in Karat, taking the children from their families to turn them into soldiers for the Golden Path. And these are the visions I would have seen if I had her as my leader when I went into the Yuma mission, but obviously I didn't. I mean, this is still probably better than what Sabal was doing instead of just straight up killing the civilians. Still pretty messed up, so no matter who you choose, it's pretty much an L, and you do have the opportunity to kill her as she's walking away, but I decided not to because it doesn't really change anything, the story's already over. So I went back to finding the rest of the collectibles. And eventually, after many hours, I found the final collectible I needed. Meaning I had officially found all 285 collectibles in the game. But the grind wasn't done there yet, as I still had to purchase every single weapon in the game. Luckily, whilst I was going for all the collectibles, there was heaps of money to be found nearby the collectibles, so I had enough money to buy the rest of the weapons except for one, which was still locked. As I mentioned earlier, I had to reach rank 10 in the arena. And of course, it was one of those things where with each rank, you needed more and more XP to rank up. And just from that, I knew this was going to be a long and boring grind, so I was super tempted to quit, but then I saw my completion percentage. It was at 99.9%, and I knew I had to get this final weapon to get the 100%. So I spent the next few hours watching YouTube videos and grinding out the arena. Eventually I made it to rank 9, and I realized that I still needed another 10,000 XP to reach rank 10. And so in the end, after multiple hours of grinding, it turned out that I had 5-starred 21 out of the 39 weapon challenges before I finally hit rank 10. Then all I had to do was head to the shop and purchase the final weapon, meaning I had officially gotten 100% in the main game. But of course, I hadn't quite got all of the trophies yet, so it was time to move on to the DLC. Because I bought the Season Pass, I also got access to the Escape from Yetis DLC. Unfortunately, there are no trophies tied to this, but I still decided to give it a go. And it turns out that apparently this DLC and the Valley of the Yetis DLC actually take place in that 1 week where we were stuck in the snow before Sabal saved us, which explains why we weren't frozen to death during that week. It turns out that Pagan actually found us first and captured us, but instead of sending us back to the prison, he has sent us to the northern region, and we have to fight our way out to a helicopter in order to get saved by the Golden Path. And so that's the unique gameplay loop of this DLC. You have 30 minutes to reach the extraction point, but you can complete missions to unlock better weapons and also extend your time, but it is permadeath, so as soon as you die, you have to restart back at the bell tower and do the DLC all over again. So it's kind of like a survival mode for hardcore players. In the end, I actually died pretty quickly, and because this DLC has no trophies tied to it, I decided instead to just move on to the Valley of the Yetis DLC. According to the wiki, whilst you're completing the Escape from Yetis DLC, you can overhear enemies talking about an expedition that Yuma has sent up into the Himalayas looking for a certain artifact. And so when you extract via the helicopter at the end of the DLC, this is how it leads into the Valley of the Yetis DLC, as you instruct the pilot to go up into the Himalayas to look for the artifact yourself to stop Yuma from getting it. Of course though, when the DLC starts, it turns out that the helicopter crashed. And over the radio, we hear that the pilot has been captured by some enemies, so we go looking for him. And it turns out that these enemies are the expedition that Yuma sent up here, but they've all gone cult-like as they worship the artifact. Eventually, we see some smoke off in the distance, so we believe that maybe that's where they took the pilot, so we head there. And here is where the main gameplay loop of the DLC comes into play, as we have to liberate this relay station of all the enemies, and then we turn it into our home base while we're here in the Valley of the Yetis. Once inside, it turns out there's a radio, and we use this to call for help from some nearby people. Doesn't sound very trustworthy.
Stay right here, huh? Not like I'm a sitting duck or anything.
I don't trust them. Home sweet home. Occupy the relay station. I was right not to trust the radio voice, as it turns out that they are the cult people called the Disciples, and they are coming to attack the relay station. And so this is where this DLC turns into a wave-like enemy mode, as you are able to upgrade the relay station and its defenses, and you have to defend it at nighttime. And I'm assuming that this first night is meant to be a bit of a challenge, but luckily, I guess one good thing about buying the Season Pass is I got access to all of the DLC weapons, so it actually made it super easy. And I would actually go on to use all these weapons for the rest of this DLC. That's how good they were. Anyway though, once we've defeated all the enemies, we have successfully defended the relay station for the first night. Ow. Oh, there we go. We did it. I was looking at the wrong area. Night Survivor. Defend the relay station and survive the first night. So pretty much the way this DLC goes is that you complete a defense mission at nighttime, and then you wake up during the day and you go and complete a main story mission. And there are also side missions available called upgrade quests, which once you complete, it unlocks a new defense for the relay station that will help you at the nighttime. There are also some upgrades that you can just straight up buy, but some of them you do have to complete the quest to unlock. Plus there was a trophy for doing all these quests, so I was going to do them all anyway. Moving back to the main story though, we do end up finding the pilot near to where we started the DLC, but of course we get captured and we have our first Yeti encounter, who has already eaten the pilot. And because all our weapons have been taken off us, we have to find a grapple in order to escape the cave and not get killed by the Yeti. Holy crap. Oh my god. Holy crap, that cut it way too close. Following the escape, I get my weapons back and we complete the mission, and now I move on to completing my first upgrade quest. And not gonna lie, most of these quests are quite easy and simple. For example, this one I just had to kill a few enemies, take their truck and deliver it back to the relay station. Bet. Builder. Complete one relay station upgrade quest. I then decided to move on to night 2, but before doing so I bought some more of the purchasable upgrades, and using the exact same weapons, I was able to defeat night 2 quite easily. The next day mission then consists of us turning off power generators that are powering the signal jammers so we can actually call for some real help over the radio. But during this mission is where I have my first open world experience with a Yeti. Holy. Oh my god, it's our first Yeti. Holy Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god, spiritual hunter. Kill a Yeti. Holy Jesus, that thing is scary. And it turns out I was going to have to kill another 4 of them for a trophy later on. Afterwards, I did turn off the final power generator, and then I moved on to completing some more upgrade quests. Then night 3 rolled around, but at this point I had already purchased every single upgrade I possibly could other than completing the quests. So the relay station was turning into a bit of a fortress, and it was quite easy to defend once again. The next day on the radio we overhear that they are holding someone prisoner, and it turns out to be a bomb maker, so we head to the prison and rescue him. Once again, after completing that mission, I decided to complete a few upgrade quests. And this is where I started encountering a lot of Yetis, as they were now spawning in the open world. And so each one I came across I made sure I killed so I would get the next trophy. Come on, is it going to give me the option to mash this time? There we go. Oh, Master of the Awakened. Kill 5 Yetis. Let's go. And following that, I decided to complete the last of the upgrade quests, getting another trophy. Garden, free and trading post. Let's go. Let's go. Master Builder. Complete all relay station upgrade quests. Now, literally all I had to do was complete the rest of the campaign for this DLC. So moving on to night 4, now that I had all the upgrades, it was quite easy. They did start to introduce Yetis as part of the attack now, but with the weapons I had and all the upgrades I had, it was still pretty simple. Moving on to the next day mission, our goal was to kill Master Sandesh, the leader of the cult, the guy who has been trying to kill us this whole time. Well, it's time to get our revenge.
Say hello to Yulung for me.
Damn, rip Master Sandesh. After killing him, we read through his journal and find out the location of the relic, but of course we still had to finish the final night before we could move on to the final day mission. And once again, I was able to complete it without any difficulties. And so the next day, I head off to where the relic is located, and after fighting my way through some Yetis, I finally find it.
Is that?
What the hell?
See, that's the relic I'm supposed to destroy.
What the heck is this thing? Oh my god. So yeah, I don't really understand the end to this campaign, but obviously this relic is causing the Yetis to appear or affecting our mind to think the Yetis are appearing. So while fighting off some Yetis, all I had to do was destroy the relic's roots to finally destroy it overall. Boom. I think we did it. Wait, I'm a Yeti now? What the heck? What? We became a Yeti? Is that... What? How can it end like that? What? Valley of the Yetis. Should I go now? Skip. Awakened. Complete the Valley of the Yetis campaign. Is that seriously how it ends? Yep, that is seriously how it ends. I don't really get that ending, so if anyone can explain it down in the comments below, I am all ears. And also, technically now, timeline-wise, we would have gone back to the main game, like Sabal and the Golden Path would have saved us, so we're clearly not a Yeti for the rest of the main campaign, so I don't get it. Anyway, that was officially all the DLC trophies collected. Now I just had to get the final trophy and my platinum. So I headed back to the main game and all I had to get was the Flame On trophy. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'd already gotten quite a few kills with the flamethrower through the arena, and I could have done the arena to finish it off, but I decided that there probably wasn't enough enemies to grind out in the arena, and you have a limited amount of ammo, so I thought it would be better if I just used the flamethrower and replayed some outposts. In the end though, it didn't really matter what strategy I chose, because I found out pretty quickly that I was only a few kills off getting the trophy anyway. Oh, flame on! Oh my god, I didn't realize I was that close. Kill 50 enemies with fire. And... Master of Karat. Obtain all the trophies 100%. Let's go! Come on. Let's freaking go. Yes, finally it's over. Damn, so I could have just... You need to call in the reinforcements, bro. I just had to kill you. I did not realize I was that close. That's so good. Nah, stuff this. I'm quitting this. That 28 hours, 44 minutes played. Does it have the time for this? No, it doesn't. Oh well. Far Cry 4, 58 hours played. Insane. Time to uninstall? No, I'm joking. Nah, good game though. And there you have it. That is the platinum and 100% in-game and all trophies for Far Cry 4. Overall, I had quite a lot of fun with this game. I think gameplay-wise, it literally improves on everything from Far Cry 3. It's just a more fun and polished experience, but I would say I did prefer the Far Cry 3 story. And the actual platinum experience was about the same, but going for the 100% was obviously a lot more grindy than Far Cry 3, not only because I had to do DLC, but also there are a lot more collectibles in this game as well, and side quests. So far, I really am enjoying playing through all of the Far Cry series, but this was probably the first game that's kind of felt like a rehash of Far Cry 3, so we'll see if it starts to get a bit boring and repetitive. But to be fair, the next game is Far Cry Primal, which is a very different setting to most Far Cry games, so we'll see how that goes. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content, and make sure to leave a like and comment down below. I really do appreciate it. And if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. This video I think is probably going to be one of my longest videos I've ever made, and it's taken quite a while to edit this thing, so I really do appreciate you guys watching to the end and dropping a like. So thank you all once again, and I'll see you all in the next one.